Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Hi, Tom.
Hey Bridget, how's your morning been
Ready
so
to talk
far?
manufacturing today?
Very much so.
All right.
Very much so.
We'll let everybody get in here and we'll get started in just a minute. As we mentioned, today we're going to be talking about sales success in manufacturing and how sales enablement can help level up content and coaching to create an overall better customer experience. We're going to walk through a little bit of lay of the land in the manufacturing industry right now, the way that the buyer's journey is changing. And we'll take a look at how AI is helping to create efficiencies in that process. And then we'll jump in and show you a couple examples of how sales enablement technology can really do what we're talking about here, leveling up that customer experience. So, all right, Tom, let's jump in. I'm Bridget Lang, VP of Marketing here at Pitcher, and I'm joined by Tom Stone, Director of Sales at Pitcher. Great to be doing another one of these with you, Tom.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah. So let's start off with just talking a little bit about how customer expectations are changing in the manufacturing world. They're primarily, what we hear is they're primarily looking for four main things. Number one, a personalized buying experience. And this experience really needs to be tailored to their needs and their interests. And that's an expectation that can be met easily. Number two, informed conversations with knowledgeable reps. Reps need to deeply understand the journey that their buyers are going on, from prospecting stage all the way to customer success and every interaction in between. It's really important that reps have informed conversations. Number three, clear value-driven content. And this is to be shared with the buying committee to speed up decision-making. Not just value-driven content, though, also data-driven content. And really important that these reps have access to both at any time. And then number four, access to up-to-date and compliant specifications. So sales enablement technology is able to pull in and surface compliant specs for the reps right in the field. And it's really important that they have access to that.
And I think here as well, Bridget, one thing which we hear a lot more is that the space is becoming ever more competitive. So you are always up against one of your competitors to land that contract. And one thing which really sets you apart, to your first point, is that personalized buying experience. Because if you look at Pitcher, we have competitors, and we know what sets us apart is that every time we go and speak with one of our customers, we're really tailoring it to them. So we're talking about what's important to them. And I think that is now becoming ever more of a requirement, especially in manufacturing. So that personalization is what can be the difference between placing a product and not. And it's one thing which we're going to really double down on today, because for me, it's one of the most powerful things that Pitcher offers.
Yeah.
It's how do you move from a generic buying experience to a truly personalized one where you're talking about only what matters to them?
Yes, absolutely. So, and that, I think that segues nicely into this, which is what are the main challenges that these manufacturers are facing? And again, four main challenges that we hear a lot. The first one, of course, complex content needs. This is a challenge across every industry, but in manufacturing, it's a lot of times around providing up-to-date product and service information to their sales teams, making sure that they have access to what the most up-to-date product and service information is. But also pulling in their channel partners, the field service personnel. All of this needs to be done to create a consistent buyer experience, and that can be a challenge. Multi-channel messaging and aligning that process. We're talking about aligning product descriptions, technical specifications, pricing, promotional materials across all channels. Oftentimes, these are coming from a million different sources, and it is really important for those manufacturing reps to have an aligned message that they can deliver in the field. The third one, coaching for internal and distributor teams. Really important that you can tailor your coaching strategies for direct and indirect reps to meet the unique needs of their buyers. And then lastly, prioritizing training quality. So offering high quality training across geographically dispersed teams. And again, in that two-tier distribution model, these are what we hear are some of the most common challenges that manufacturers face right now. So how can AI forward sales enablement help with aligning and optimizing this process, Tom?
Well, I think there's kind of three key things here, and this is something which we're going to touch on in a little while's time. But the main one is, with AI now, you shouldn't have a scenario where you have your field force using outdated content. So something that an AI forward sales enablement platform such as Pitcher is able to do is centralize and streamline that content management. So rather than have your reps jumping from multiple different systems to access the content and the information that they need to run their interactions, instead now technology allows you to bring everything that's important to that individual into one experience. What that does is it gives reps instant access to the latest materials. You also know that you are enabling your field force to be on brand. So what we want to avoid and what we want to make sure that doesn't happen anymore is reps are using outdated content which they've localized onto their device. Mm-hmm. So with Pitcher, you don't need to do that. The minute your marketing colleagues invest their time and expertise in creating really sharp, powerful content which is on brand and compliant, that information and that content is available to the reps. So it's around being able to leverage technology to automatically push the information and the content that you want your reps to have in the field when they're telling your story. The other one is then that leads really nicely to like the consistency of the outreach. Again, technology such as Pitcher and having AI underpin that, you remove silos between marketing, sales, support, and the field service team. Everybody is able to see what is being shared, what's being discussed. They're all able to access the same content. So whether it's a sales rep that's having the initial interaction, and then down the line, it's the field service teams that's coming in or the support team, they can still access the same content. They know what's been shared. They're using the same on-brand messaging. You've got that continuity across the organization. And I think the final one is coaching and training. Now, coaching's changing. Like all sales enablement platforms, even with an AI forward enablement platform such as Pitcher, you're still able to do that peer-to-peer coaching. So great example, Bridget, you can highlight things where I could improve, and you could work with me and help me to get better at certain elements of the way I run my interactions. But where AI up levels coaching and training is it allows the reps to actually practice and perfect their pitch in advance of a meeting. So one of the great features with Pitcher is we now have the capabilities to leverage Peer, which is Pitcher's intelligent assistant. Peer is able to actually play the role of Bridget for me, or the role of the customer. So I can make sure that when I walk into that big meeting, which could be the difference between me hitting my quota or missing my quota, I'm not leaving anything to chance. I've practiced my pitch. I've got my feedback from Peer. Peer has highlighted to me where I should improve and what areas I should double down on. And I think that's a really big thing that's changing now. AI is there to really help individuals like you and I, Bridget.
Yeah. One of our customers who's really leaning into this is Sika Manufacturing. Tom, give us a little summary of what they've deployed and what they're seeing.
Yeah, so I have the great pleasure of working closely with Sika since I've been at Pitcher, and they are a titan of the manufacturing industry. They are one of the global leading providers. They are an adopter of Pitcher, and what actually triggered them to start their partnership with us many years ago was we were able to do a consolidation exercise for them. We were able to change the way that their field force worked, their field force interacted with their marketing teams, and we were able to provide a single platform which gave them content access in the field. So that was a really big problem which they had to solve. How do they make sure that their field force, which predominantly works from home and works remotely, when they're in the field, they were able to access the correct content? With Pitcher, we were able to do that straight away. The day they started using Pitcher, we fixed that problem. Secondly, we wanted to help them, and I say we wanted to help them. When we first started engaging with them, they wanted to understand how they could automate the CRM updates. So obviously, one of the most expensive systems any organization will have is their CRM. Mm-hmm. With Pitcher, what we were able to do is remove their necessity for their field reps to go in and make sure that they are accurately updating what did we discuss, what did we show, what are the next steps. because a real selling point of Picture is we're able to run that integration with the CRM and automate that process. So every single client interaction, every single client call, every single piece of content that was shown is automatically updated in the CRM. So we remove that necessity that they have on their reps to complete their post-meeting actions. And then finally was expanding the integration as a whole. So the automation with CRM comes via leveraging that integration. We also worked with them to understand what other systems do you have that support your field force. Of course, we don't want to integrate into everything. We want to understand what is the important systems that your reps have to access on a daily basis in order to go and be the best version of themselves in the field and tell your brand story correctly. So with Picture, what we did is we identified what those platforms were, and we leveraged integrations to change immediately the way the rep works. So Seeker reps now, when they go and run their interactions and prepare, run and execute their sales meetings, they only use Picture. They don't have to go anywhere else because they can work in confidence knowing that everything they need is already available in Picture.
Yeah, that's great. I'm just going to read this quote from Patrick in technical sales at Seeker. The client sees the difference. As sales reps, we come across as highly responsive and professional, able to instantly pull up the right document or respond to a pricing question on the spot. This responsiveness gives us a competitive edge, reinforcing trust and building stronger relationships. Thanks, Patrick, for that. Couldn't be said any better. So how can we exceed expectations with this approach? With an AI forward sales enablement platform, we sort of, the goal is always to exceed customer expectations. How is technology like Picture helping to do that?
Well, I think it's things like the time loss on misalignment between teams. It just causes delays. With Picture and an AI forward sales enablement platform, you remove those inefficiencies. You remove the inconsistent customer experience, and you move to a way of working where everybody's on brand, everybody's working efficiently, and the time savings speak for themselves. It's also around that content management, coaching, and field service support. We know that they're complex in two-tier distribution environments. So a really great feature of AI forward sales enablement is simplicity. And I don't think we talk about it enough. Simplicity is what is going to allow users in the field to go out, present the correct product, and achieve the goal, which is landing that product and increasing the revenue. And one thing that AI forward sales enablement platforms are able to do now is bring a world of simplicity. So you look at Picture, it's a feature-rich system. But from a rep user point of view, it's as easy as clicking one or two buttons and you're ready to go and run the meeting. And we're going to touch on that and show you what that looks like.
Right.
And then I think the final one is integrating technology platforms. So by bringing all of the data together, you get incredible performance increase. You transform the buyer experience, which leads to better results. Because in any interaction, there are two key individuals. And one thing that we do is we understand what are the challenges of the field rep and how can we help them solve those? And a lot of those challenges are around how do I prepare for my meeting and make sure that I'm speaking specifically to that customer, and where do I go to find that information? So with Picture, we remove that problem straight away. Everything's in Picture.
Yeah.
And the second person, which I don't think is spoken about enough, is the customer. Picture absolutely changes the experience of the customer. What it does is it makes it easier for that individual to engage with the brand. They're engaging with products that are specific to them. They're not seeing every single product that Seeker, for example, are able to offer. Instead, the Seeker reps are turning up and they're talking about the 3 or 4 products which are going to be of specific interest to that person. So
yeah,
it just changes the whole way that the rep and the customer engage.
We're going to jump into a quick demo just to show some of those things in action. Before we do that, I just want to point out that there is a question tab at the bottom of your screen on the right side. If you have questions, drop them in there. We'll get to those at the end. And we'd love to hear from you. So send questions in that you have up to this point, or any that come to mind while you're watching the demo. And Tom, I'll turn it over to you for the demo.
Perfect. Yeah, just to set the scene, what we're going to show you here is we just want to keep it really, really light, really fluid. And we just want to show you how specifically AI changes the way that a rep works. So what you're going to see is a live production instance, which has dummy data in that we've put together specifically for today so that we can show you exactly what we're able to offer. So I'm going to just check that everybody can see my screen.
Looks good.
Fantastic. So for anyone that hasn't seen Picture before, welcome to Picture. This is a real example of what Picture looks like for a lot of our customers in the field. It's designed with the user in mind. So the minute you log into Picture as a field rep, I'm already greeted with information that's going to help me prepare for my day. So when I log in straight away, I've got a bit about the company message. Then as I continue to work through, I can see the highlighted content. And one thing you will notice is this is designed very much like social media. The idea is you just keep scrolling, and the more you scroll, the more information you find. So straight away, highlighted content. I can open these up and I can review it on the spot if I chose to. Or I can just keep working through and I can see the featured products. So we've got NovaPad Pro, we've got Edge Phone X, and I can also see that my leadership team have a training video that they want me to watch. So that has already been pulled into Picture for me. So I don't have to go anywhere else to see that. I know this is a piece of content that my leadership team would like me to review. I can watch it straight away. So the idea here is you're greeted with information that's going to make your life easier. Another perfect example of that is the rep-facing dashboard. So this is what helps me understand that where I am on my number, what do I need to do, any upcoming tasks I have. I can see how the rest of my team is performing. I can see sales per month. I can see my top selling products. Again, it's designed to be very intuitive, very easy. And you'll note I've made 2 clicks and I've come in, I've been shown some new content. I've seen a video that needs to be watched, shared by my leadership team. And now I'm reviewing how I'm performing compared to my team. I can see the top selling products, everything's here. But what I want to do now is briefly transition in to show you how AI can help me as the rep. So in this example, I'm Tom, the field rep, and I'm going to be preparing for an upcoming meeting. And this is where I want to show you how AI is completely changing the game. So what I've done here is I can select my customer. So I've selected the customer I'm going to see. That's the first action. Next, I now want to make sure that I'm ready for that upcoming meeting. So at the moment, all I know is that I have a meeting coming up. I don't know what's been said in the past, what's been discussed, and I don't have an agenda or anything to show. This is where AI changes that for you. So with Picture, what you do is you click on Prepare. When you click Prepare, you're greeted with information straight away about that company. So I have the customer profile here. So straight away, I can start to educate myself. What is it that Transmodisk does? Next, I'm leveraging that integration with the CRM we mentioned earlier. And what Picture's done and what Pia's already helped me do is pull in the previous interactions. So I can start to catch myself up on what happened in the past. So I can see here, on the 3rd of June, there was a QBR meeting. And then I can see all the way back on the 30th of September, there was a new project with the French team. So what that's doing is it's leveraging information that exists in the CRM and it's surfacing it for me. So as a rep, I can catch myself up on the previous interactions. Next, this is where I really start to love how AI is changing the way people work. Because whilst I've been refreshing myself on the history, Pia has already gone and found some pre-meeting readiness recommendations for me. So based on the previous interactions, Pia's already highlighted 2 products which are going to be of interest to the customer I'm going to see. Now, like before, I can jump into these and start reviewing them, or I can continue working through my prepare element of Picture. And this, again, is just a complete game changer, if you're asking me honestly. This is even guiding me now on the key discussion points. So with 1 click and around 30 seconds time invested, I've now caught myself up on what's been done in the past. I've re-educated myself on the profile of the customer I'm going to see. I've been given recommendations on pre-meeting products to review, and I've even been guided on the discussion points. So now I want to actually work out, what am I going to show the customer? So I have this time with the client, what do I show them? This again is something where I don't even have to leave it to chance. AI and Pia is going to help me as a rep put together the perfect meeting agenda and preparation. So we can see here in real time, Pia has pulled together my meeting objectives, and now Pia is crafting the perfect agenda. So I can see I'm going to spend 10 minutes on my introduction, 15 minutes on the requirement deep dive. Then I'm going to start going into the different products that we have. So I've caught myself up, and now I have an agenda and meeting objectives. And to do that, I've clicked on prepare, and I've caught myself up on the information, and then I've just simply clicked agenda. So now I want Pia to take it to the next level. I want AI to create the perfect meeting experience for my client. So next, my third click, and what's happened is AI and Pia have put together the document that I'm going to use to run my interaction. So within here, I can see everything that we've already reviewed. So I can see the agenda, I can make edits, but I'm not going to go into that at the moment. I'm going to start the meeting, because I want to start the meeting here because I now want Pia to help track what it is I'm showing. So when I'm running my meeting now, I can engage with my customer. I've got the agenda, and as I work my way through this, I can say, look, these are the 3 points that I'm going to discuss with you today, Bridget. I want to take you through our story because we have a really exciting story. I want to make sure that when I leave today, you understand the industries that we serve. And I've even got some products that I want to take you through. And these are products which, based on you, I think are going to be of interest. So as I work through straight away, you can see the depth that Pia has gone to here. This is, you would easily believe if I told you I'd spent 5 hours preparing for our meeting today, Bridget. But as you've seen real time, it's been about 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So I've got my about the products that we want to present. I've got our strategy. Again, Pia is highlighting the correct product information, marketing content to bring in at this point of the interaction. I can talk about our business. I can then start to touch on the products which I believe are going to be perfect for you. So this is where I can, as a salesperson, my expertise comes into position why they should invest in the Neonova electronics. That comes down to the rep. Pia could do that for you, but this is where the personal customer to salesperson interaction comes in. We want to make this personal. So this is where you need that in-person interaction. I just want to finish up quickly and show you how Picture and Pia is able to do one more thing, which I think really changes the way that the customers engage with the organization and the brand, and that is place orders. So we've had a great meeting. I've been able to position all of the products that I believe are going to be a good fit to you. As a salesperson now, I want to do the one thing which often is left to a follow-up interaction, and that is I want to secure the revenue. I want to leave here knowing that you have placed an order. So with Picture, Pia's already pulled in the right products, and I can very easily work with you and say, look, we've got a 2-week lead time. So what I want to do is place the order with you now. You've said this is exactly what you need. So how many units do you need? And with Picture, you can simply add these in.
All integrated. Yeah.
So you're able to place that order, and you can go through and you can see, perfect. This is exactly what I want. I'm going to have 3 of those units, 2 of these units, and it will keep pulling in the products. And as a salesperson, I can execute on that order and realize that revenue on the spot. And then the final thing, which is really worth showing you, is I mentioned at the very beginning, I just wanted to start the interaction so Pia can help me record what I'm showing. I want to show you what that looks like. So Pia has been listening in the background, not to the physical conversation, albeit we can do that, but we don't. Instead, Pia has been recording what I've been showing as a sales rep. So I can see what's been presented. I can go into the content that I've shown. It can show me whether it's been a positive interaction, a negative interaction. I'm able to take my meeting notes, and then I can finish the meeting and click submit. And then as a sales rep, that's my job done. Picture now takes over. Picture will push this update to the CRM so that when my leadership team, so when Bridget, my field manager, goes in to see how the meeting went in Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics, whichever CRM you happen to use, she can see exactly what products I've shown, she can see what orders I placed, and she can see my follow-up interactions and next steps with the client. So really super fast overview. We could spend hours playing around in Picture. But for the purpose of today, I just wanted to give you that quick insight into how AI is changing the way that you could enable your field force to work. And
that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for leading us through that. We did have 2 questions come in during that demo. So let me ask you these questions. The first one is, how does Picture ensure security of the content? And can you designate internal only versus partner content?
Yeah, so we've been speaking about manufacturing today, but a really important fact about Picture is we work across many markets, one of which is health, life science, pharma, where that exact thing is really, really important. So the key thing with Picture is when content is pushed into Picture, from a compliance standpoint and a security standpoint, the marketing leadership team can identify and highlight, is this a piece of content that can be shown but not shared? Or is this a piece of content that can only be accessed by this level of rep? Picture has that functionality. So you are able to segment what content is available by seniority level or rep type, region, customer, and most importantly, you're able to control if content is for presenting only or is for presenting and sharing. And then another key point, actually, just to add there, Bridget, is you can also dictate the amount of changes and edits a rep can make. So you can have it that they can't change anything, or you can have it that they can personalize the introduction, for example. Okay. Key thing is leadership's in control here. Marketing leadership dictate what the reps are able to do and share.
Right. And marketers love that.
Yeah.
And the other question here is, what does onboarding look like? And, with complex integrations, what does onboarding look like is the heart of the question.
So onboarding with Picture is, well, being frank, super simple. The one thing that Picture doesn't do is require you to change anything behind the scenes. So you don't have to change other systems to use Picture, which is the first thing an IT team will ask. Well, what do we have to change and what do we have to spend to bring Picture in? The reality is you don't change anything. You don't have to go and invest in any other platforms. Picture simply comes in by leveraging those API integrations. We work with you to understand where does the data exist, which systems do we need to leverage, and we run that integration. So we don't change anything, we sit on top. In terms of how quick is the time to value, we have customers that have been onboarded and from signing a contract to being live in the field within 3 to 4 weeks. I think if you averaged it across the group, you're probably looking somewhere in the region of eight weeks is a typical deployment. And that allows for everything that is required in a successful deployment. That's training of teams, making sure everybody that's going to be using it knows how to use Picture, what they should be doing, when they should be doing. But within 8 weeks, you're operational. If you've got to move faster, as I said, with our customers within 2-3 weeks.
That's great.
So that's where we can work with them.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, that's all we've got for today. Thanks everybody for joining us. Tom, as always, thanks for leading the conversation and walking us through a little demo. Reach out to us here. Here's our direct email addresses. We'd love to hear from you, and got further questions or want to take a deeper look, we'd love to connect.
Yeah, I think a closing statement is technology is changing now, and you can bring in great efficiencies, but also an incredibly simplistic way of working with this type of technology. And it's
the game changer for your
every organization should be looking at as business critical now, because this changes the way that you do the hardest job of all, which is take your products to market.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your day.
Thanks.
Thanks.